Okay, let's talk about running a business. I run a small business that's been slowly improving over time. I've ran several businesses throughout my life with varying degrees of success. Some have utterly failed. I've probably done, I don't know, maybe a half dozen serious attempts at business. Some of them just cost me a bunch of money. And, I had one business actually, I just made some really bad decisions many years ago, had the wrong people involved. I had a more or less a business partner who was very skilled, but was not very honest, and I lost a lot of money. It was a tough lesson to learn. Okay, that was um, out of that. I had to take a few years to actually recover. I had a lot of credit card debt because some of the business was financed through credit cards. I know some of you are cringing right now, but when you're young, these are things you don't really understand. Now that I'm a little bit older, and I won't tell you how old I am because it doesn't really matter, but I learned some things along the way. I had one business that was I sold lantern oil, smokeless lantern oil. And in the north, I live in the United States, for those who don't know, the United States of America. And in the north, particularly in the cold months, smokeless lantern oil is still used. People still use it. And I didn't make a lot of money, but I made decent money. That lasted for a little while until the United States Post Office started damaging my packages, and they wouldn't honor the insurance. So, and then there's a few other small successes and failures. So why am I telling you all this? Because business is always going to be challenging. If you're running a business, you're always going to have challenges. All right. So let's talk about the things that I learned along the way. And I'm going to keep this video as short as I can. That I believe are really going to help you if you're thinking about starting a business. And I think probably for more than half the people out there that are watching this video, you should try to start a business. You really should. And I think you're going to find out after you watch this video, it's not just about making money. Yes, that's part of it. And yes, the business probably needs to be profitable if it's going to be sustainable. But there's a lot more to it than just that, okay? So I'm not going to give you this big, long, exhaustive list of things, okay? I'm just going to talk about the things that really helped me. So the first thing we're going to talk about is critical thinking. So you see this image in front of you, critical thinking, okay? Critical thinking skills. So let's look at the very top here. Let me get black. Reasoning. You're sitting there in your house, your home, your apartment, wherever, and you're thinking about how to start a business. That's a reasoning stage, and you've got some ideas, or or maybe you don't have any ideas at all what type of business you want to even start. Okay, that's okay. That's part of the reasoning process. What is it that you think you can do and be a part of, and you want to have some passion about it, right? Because if you're in it just for the money, it's going to probably fade. You got to have a passion for it. You got to want to do it. Because that's what's going to sustain you is your desire to do it, because you at least have some enjoyment of doing it, okay? So that's the reasoning part. It's okay if it takes a day, a week, even years to figure this part out. It's okay. You might not have the financing to be able to do it. But it's okay to get started with the reasoning part, okay? Then you got problem solving. We're going to work this way. This may not be exactly in the order of which other people do it. It doesn't really matter. I'm just starting at the top. Problem solving. Because as soon as you get done reasoning, you're going to be challenged with how do you overcome some of the obstacles. Okay? Like if we go back to quite a few years ago when I was running my little business selling lantern oil, smokeless lantern oil, I was dealing with problems with the United States Post Office because that's primarily how I shipped my packages. And I had a problem. The UPS was too expensive. If I shipped at UPS, my profits were going to be so small that it just wasn't worth running the business. But if I shipped at USPS, I was making enough profit where it was worth it to keep running the business. You got to understand, I wasn't making millions of dollars running this small business. I was making maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a year, but I would do it at night after my day job, and I enjoyed doing it. It didn't matter. I sold most of my product on eBay. So that was a problem, I really wanted to ship UPS because I knew they were going to take care of my packages better, but they were just too expensive at that time compared to the United States Post Office. Okay? So this was a challenge I was always dealing with, okay? The United States Post Office was really shady about the way they handled packages, and they just didn't care if they broke packages in the process. They always blamed it on the person packaging. It was never their fault. So that's a problem, right? All right, so obviously I had to do, let's go to this next part here, evaluate. I had to evaluate this problem and try to come up with a solution, right? There were other problems. I had problems like I saw there was opportunity. I was reasoning. Okay, that's more like the analyzing part. That's going to come way over here. Sometimes analyzing will be one of the first things you do. It doesn't always start here with reasoning. I went on eBay and I analyzed that there was opportunity with back then, years ago, there was opportunity for smokeless lantern oil. I did enough analysis to figure out, hey, if I could get lantern oil on the cheap, I can make a profit off this product. That's an analysis part, okay? So sometimes it starts here instead of reasoning. And then once I discovered I could make some profit, I had some reasoning and some problem solving came in. I was able to acquire the product, the inventory locally. See, I overcame a problem. Instead of buying the product, paying for shipping, then reselling it, I was able to acquire the product locally. I could go pick it up. I even had it delivered for free because the vendor was willing to drop off. As long as I ordered enough, they would drop it off for free. So I had analyzed, I reasoned the solution of the problem, or I had to reason it out. I solved the problem, okay, and then there was some evaluation. Was it working? Was I making enough profit? Could I sustain the business? For a while, the answer was yes, and then there's some decision making. How do I make the business better? Okay, so I'm just kind of digress here a little bit, but I'm just giving you an idea, a real world example of a very small business back when I was younger, how I had to use critical thinking to keep the business going and try to improve on it. You should always be pushing yourself with critical thinking. How can you improve your business? If you're just even trying to get started in business, well, how do I crack open the door? How do I get my foot in the door? How do I even start? That's critical thinking. You have to push your mind and push yourself and keep on going, okay? All right, let's talk about the next thing. So the next thing is commitment. Being steady, being committed. Once you get your business going, or even if you don't get it going, but you're still in the reasoning process or trying to figure it out, even that stage of critical thinking, you have to be committed. Certainly once you get your business going, you've got to be committed. If you don't stay committed and stay loyal, forget it. The business has no chance. Now, this is something I pulled off the internet here. Commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you said, or the mood you said it, has left you. The mood you set it in. What they're implying is this happens a lot, because it's happened to me and it happens to a lot of people. You get gung-ho and excited about an idea. It might even be a good idea, but you lose the commitment. You lose the enthusiasm because it takes work. A lot of people get lazy. They're not disciplined. They're not committed. Remember I talked about it's not just about making money? You have to have a passion. That passion is the fire that keeps you going. It helps you stay committed. You have to have some kind of passion, some kind of desire to do it. It's more than just the money, because the money, guys, that ain't going to do it. I'm telling you right now, if you just start a business just for the sake of making money and profit, the chances are you're going to fail. Because you'll never be satisfied. But if you enjoy what you're doing and you're making money along the way, all right, that's different. You've got to be committed no matter where you're at in the process of that critical thinking. You have to be committed. I have a small business right now today that I run, and it's slowly growing. Like anybody else, I wish it would grow a lot faster and turn in a lot more profit, but it's been steadily growing little by little. And I'm staying committed to it. And I enjoy it. Some days more than others, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it enough to keep it going. Okay? That's big. Being committed. Have a passion, at least some kind of fire in you to have a passion for what you're doing more than just making a profit. Okay, I'm not saying if your business is losing a lot of money, keep going. No, you have to. That's called the evaluation part of critical thinking, right? You have to reevaluate what you're doing, change some things. If you're just losing a bunch of money. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. All right, you got in front of you here is a kind of a modern day, playground. Well, guess what? A business is not a playground. It's not. And I see some people run their businesses like playgrounds, and they're probably going to fail if they're not taking it serious. I'm not saying you can't have fun with your business. By all means, have fun. But it's not a playground. Well, what do I mean by that? You can't afford to have, let's just say you have employees, but you have an employee, that's toxic to the environment. You're going to have to cut that employee loose. I have a friend of mine that runs a business too, a different kind of business that I run, okay? And we've dealt with some people from time to time in our businesses and are working together. And some people are just going to be toxic. Nobody who's running, not anybody I know that runs a business, do you want to have to get rid of people or fire people? Or unassociate yourself with people that are just not helping you to grow. They're detrimental. You got to cut them loose. If you got employees coming in late to work, or you have an associate or so-called acquaintance or friend, but they're toxic to your goal, you got to cut them loose. That doesn't mean that you hate them. It's got nothing to do with that. You just can't afford to take those kind of risks. You're trying to build a business. It's a business. And employees should be, as a business is growing and doing well, the employees are doing well because it should be treated as family. A sense of family. Okay, but you should expect, since we're talking about the topic of employees, you should expect those employees to be on work on time. They should be dedicated to what their tasks are and what they're responsible for. You can't have employees stealing things and doing shady things and just being detrimental to the environment. That's a no-go. Okay, it's more than just employees. I'm just using an example, right? So you're building a positive environment. That's what you're building. For you, if you have employees, okay, for them as well. If you're going back to that critical thinking, you want to eliminate anything that's counterproductive. So as you're doing things in your business and you're growing your business and you're slowly putting together the building blocks, and this may take years, sometimes even decades, as you try different businesses and see where you really shine. And once you figure out where you shine and it's making some profit and the business is going, stay with it. Okay? But eliminate anything that's counterproductive. You give it some time, you try it out. If it's not working, you eliminate it. All right, that's the short list, guys. I'm keeping this video really short, about 15 minutes. There's a lot more to run a business than just that, but I want you to think about those 3 things I talked about in this video. Okay, go back, review the video. Just really super basic, but I'm telling you, if you put these things in place, you have a much better chance of growing your business. I know this from personal experience of decades of running small businesses, okay? Now, I want to finish up the business. I want to finish up this video by just saying a couple things. First of all, I pray that you're blessed in everything that you do. You got to think positively. You got to speak positively. You got to have the right words and the right thoughts. Your thoughts and your heart, the condition of your heart, the internal person of who you are, it's got to be in a good place, a positive place. So I pray those things for everybody listening and watching this video. You want to change who you are internally first and speak positive and encouraging things all the time. Now, personally, I believe in Jesus Christ, and that's a big plus for me. I hope others will do the same. But even if you don't, you need that in your life. You got to get rid of the toxic junk in your life, the toxic thoughts, the toxic stuff. Otherwise, you're not going to succeed. You're going to have a really struggle. You're going to really struggle. Drugs, alcohol, bad relationships. You got to get rid of all that garbage. People saying negative things around you. No. Forget that. Businesses thrive in positive, encouraging environments. They don't do so well in negative environments. Okay? That's a big thing before we finish the video. And the last thing I'm going to say this is between 2023 and about 2027, these are really good years. Now, politically here in the United States, that's a topic for a different video. But the energy, I'm just going to leave it at that. There's a really good energy for the next about 4 years. So you want to seize the moment. The next 4 years, there's going to be changes, guys. Trust me. Then even the political environment, it's not going to stay static like it is right now. It will change. Mark my words. There will be opportunities over the next 4 years. They're going to be really good. Once we get past 2027, things are going to get a little bit shaky going down into 2030, 2031, 2032. Things could get a little bit difficult, okay? So now is the time. Okay, don't procrastinate. Listen, on the screen right now, if you want to become a member of my service, usually on this channel, I talk about trading and investing, and I have a membership. If you want to join, it's $5.99. Super cheap, okay? I put out a nightly email to all my members, basically giving my opinion about the stock market, where it's headed. Sometimes I cover some other products like futures and bonds and things like that. You get access to the Discord server, okay? And on there's different channels. I'm on there almost every day. Okay, so you get that in addition to the nightly emails. And occasionally I put out videos like the one you're seeing right now. That's super cheap, guys, for $5.99. $5.99 a month, okay? So you'll see on the screen right now, go below this video. I think you first have to subscribe. Make sure you're a subscriber. Then click the join button, and you'll go through the process of paying the $5.99, okay? Then just leave me a comment on one of the member-only videos, okay? Or you can jump on the Discord server, okay? But a member-only video, you'll see the link usually right below the video of the Discord server link. Use that. Jump on the Discord server. You can hit me up. I'm Gittes, just like my YouTube channel. Just hit me up with a direct message. Hey, I'm in the Discord server. How do there's a linking process, and I'll give you another video that shows you how to integrate your YouTube membership with the Discord server, okay? Also on your screen is my new website, GittesCharts.com. Go over there. It's free registration. I'm still working on the site, but go ahead and register right now because I'm going to move all the membership off of YouTube here, hopefully in the next few months, and get everybody over onto the website because I can provide a lot more services, right? YouTube is just videos, guys. It's not a website, right? I can't provide services and products to help you become a better trader and even maybe run your business better, right? Okay, so do that if you want to. Go over to the site and register. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Talk to you all real soon again next time.